When the Mercedes engineers designed the R230 SL500, they installed two batteries. That's right, two big batteries. There's one right here in the engine compartment, and there's one back there in the trunk. I think the engineers figured, well, we put two batteries in these SL convertibles because they don't get driven a lot. And that's true. Think about how much these cars get driven. They're not usually daily drivers, but they'll sit in the garage over the winter for a couple months, and you'll go out to start the car, and the car might start, but suddenly things are not working. And I know this is true because I've talked to another R230 owner who had this problem. So what I'm doing today in this car is I'm installing two battery tenders. And these are the quick disconnect type like I sell on my website. So you can attach this pigtail to each battery and plug the tenders in when you park the car. Now I've already hooked the one up in the trunk. Let's take a look at how I did that. You can see here I've already connected my pigtail and I've got it sticking up here for easy access. And if you pull this panel off, you can see where the battery, fairly easy access for this battery in the trunk. Now let me show you how I hooked this up. Most of these newer style Mercedes use this type of battery post connector. It's different than the old style. It has a 10mm nut here on this stud that squeezes down on the clamp. I recommend if you're connecting the pigtail that I sell in my kit, that you hook it underneath the stud. Remove the nut, push the stud out, and hook it on the back side. If you put this pigtail terminal connector under the nut, then every time you tighten and loosen the nut, you're going to weaken it and possibly break it. Now, if you can't get it on that stud, what I did on this positive post, because I couldn't get the stud out, look what I did here. I cut a notch in the terminal, and then I can slide it in underneath. I can actually squeeze it down a little bit if I want. Slide it underneath until it's in place. And then when I tighten that down, I'll make sure I align this little adapter pigtail so it sticks up right here over the top of the spare tire cover. So it's convenient to plug in and remove the battery tender when you need to. When you do plug in the lead coming from the battery tender or battery maintainer, you're going to want to find a good place to route this wire under the lip of the trunk and the hood. Because if you put it in the wrong place, you're going to pinch the wire. So I've gone around here and I've located this area right here, which is the least tight on the seal. So I'm going to plug this in now, right here. Okay, now I can close the trunk. You can see I can still get a little movement here, so it's not super tight. Now I'll go ahead and plug this into the 110 volt outlet. And whenever I go to drive the car, I have to unplug them and I have to probably put them in the trunk here. But I'll tell you, that's a lot easier than dealing with a dead battery. And just remember, you do not need a twin battery car to get the full benefits of a battery tender or battery maintainer. This should be on any car that you leave parked for more than a couple weeks. And you know, we all have these collector type cars, and every one of mine have one of these installed because I've saved a lot of batteries doing this.